for the young people in particular, and in all of us, I think it's a great refreshment to refresh our memory about what it was to create the government that we have today. So picture yourself a couple hundred years ago, realizing I'm going to put everything I have on the line for a chance of what I consider freedom. Now the forefathers that we all talk about, and we all can name a bunch of them, were typically people who were well-to-do. They were established, they had money, they had power, they had fame, they had everything that you would think that they should have, but they wanted something different. They wanted freedom. I'm fortunate to know that in my history, my forefather was one of those gentlemen. As a matter of fact, it goes farther back than that. 5 generations before him came over from England in 1638. And there were 8 generations in a row of politicians that were really statesmen at that point, growing our nation and giving us what we have today, which I think we lose touch with that when we get into the political debate of issues, when we recognize that what we're sacrificing when we do that is freedom. My particular story, my forefather, he ran for the presidency of the United States the first time, and he lost. The Electoral College was 69 to 34, and he lost. But the second time around, he ran again, 8 years later. He was a Whig, running against, this is interesting, a Republican Democrat, Thomas Jefferson. He won. His name is John Adams. Now, his son then went on as well to become President of the United States. And for me, this to me should be the most important thing to me, because as a small business owner, every political decision affects me directly. And yet I've stayed away from it. It was easier for me to allow the system do its thing, and I would adjust my life, my business, my employees, their lives, their families, the people they feed. I just let that go. And I just worked what I could work. Well, today, I'm taking an active role in being involved in this because I believe in the cause of what we are. Not who I am, not what any one particular candidate in this room for any one particular office. I would love for each of one of you to listen to the platforms as to why they believe the way they believe. Not, oh, it's because my mom was a this or my dad was a that, or I had a friend who was associated with a party. Do that if you want to. I'm not opposed to that if that's what you want. But go right here and decide why it is that you believe the way you believe. Did you know that our belief systems, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, whether it's anything, was not made up for you? You didn't make those decisions. Your decisions in your belief system were made purely based on other people's opinions. When you were young and those people were saying things, you didn't even know why they believed they believed. You just started believing it. Great example, and then I'll be done with this so we can get moving on the most important part. My dad was a very meticulous guy, and every time we got gas, he would pull out his little book and he would write down the mileage, and he'd write down how much it cost, he'd write down everything about it. So guess what happens when Al gets his first car? In the little glove box is my little thing, and I start writing it down. I did this for years. Years! Every single time. I never looked at it again. But I did it because he did it, and I had no idea what he did with it. But his mind was he needed to know what it was going to, so he could budget for gas for the year, how much it was going to cost. That was important to him. To me, I didn't care. But I did it anyway. That's how I was running my political beliefs, and my religious, spiritual beliefs were the same. Until I finally woke up one day and realized that's not what it should really be about. I would hope that all of you have made decisions based on how you feel, not how someone else made you feel. More importantly, feel the way that when you connect with something, feel that, and make a decision from there. So with that, let's get started with this. I'm going to first bring up Austin Zolkowski.